What would happen if you gave up control of your entire life to AI? Not just your calendar, not just your emails, your workouts, your meals, your work schedule, your content ideas, even your sleep time. For 7 days, I let AI manage my life. Every hour was planned, every task optimized, every decision guided by data instead of impulse. No guessing, no procrastinating, no, I'll do it later. Just algorithmic structure running my daily routine. And what happened surprised me more than I expected. We constantly hear that AI saves time. It automates tasks, it increases productivity. But I wanted to test something deeper. What happens when you remove daily decision-making almost entirely? For 1 full week, I used AI tools to plan my schedule, prioritize my workload, structure my workouts, organize my meals, block distractions, and track my performance. Before starting, I wrote down 3 personal weaknesses: inconsistency, distraction, and overthinking. I often plan too much and execute too little. I rely on motivation instead of systems. So I asked a bold question: can AI design a better life than I can? Here's what happened, day by day. Day 1, the reality check. The first step was input. I gave the AI everything: deadlines, goals, meetings, habits, sleep patterns, and even the times I usually waste scrolling. Within minutes, it generated a fully structured week: deep work blocks in the morning, admin tasks in the afternoon, workout sessions placed during energy dips, strict email windows, scheduled breaks, evening wind down time. On paper, it looked perfect, but by midday, I felt uncomfortable. I realized how much I normally rely on mood to choose what to do next. If I feel creative, I write. If I feel tired, I delay hard tasks. With AI in control, there was no, what do I feel like? There was only what's next. It was efficient, but it felt mechanical. That discomfort showed me something important. I wasn't as disciplined as I thought. I was driven by emotion more than structure. Day 2, the productivity spike. On the second day, something shifted. Because every task was already decided, I didn't waste time thinking about where to start. There was no hesitation, no bouncing between tabs, no checking notifications. Just for a second, the morning deep work session was intense, focused, clean. AI had scheduled my hardest cognitive tasks during my peak mental hours, and it was accurate. I completed a project that normally takes 2 days in just 1. By evening, I realized I had accomplished significantly more than usual. The biggest difference wasn't speed. It was the absence of decision fatigue. My brain wasn't drained by small choices. It was fully available for execution. Day 3, discipline without motivation. Midweek is usually where my consistency collapses. Motivation dips, energy drops. I start negotiating with myself, but AI doesn't negotiate. When I delayed a task, the system automatically pushed lower priority items later and visually highlighted approaching deadlines. Seeing that shift triggered urgency. Not emotional stress, logical consequence. There was no drama, just structure. I followed the plan, and by the end of the day, I felt something rare. Steady momentum. Not a motivational high, not burnout, just consistent output. Day 4, when real life hits. On day 4, an unexpected meeting disrupted my schedule. A task ran longer than predicted. Normally, this would derail everything, but the AI reorganized instantly. It shifted tasks, preserved deep work blocks, and moved flexible items to later in the week. Instead of feeling behind, I felt recalibrated. That's when I realized something powerful. Most productivity stress doesn't come from workload. It comes from poor recovery when plans change. AI recovered faster than I ever do manually. Day 5, the health effect. I also allowed AI to structure meals, workouts, and breaks based on energy optimization. It placed workouts during afternoon slumps instead of mornings. At first, I doubted it. But after exercising, my energy spiked again. It inserted short walking breaks after long focus sessions. It protected sleep time aggressively. By Friday night, I wasn't exhausted like usual. The balance between output and recovery felt intentional. For the first time, productivity didn't feel like it was competing with health. It felt aligned. Day 6, emotional resistance. Then came Saturday. I began to miss spontaneity. There's something human about changing plans, following curiosity, or taking an unplanned break. AI optimized for efficiency. Life isn't purely about efficiency. I ignored a scheduled block and met a friend instead. The system adjusted, but internally, I noticed tension. That's when I understood a key limitation. AI can optimize output. It cannot optimize meaning. It doesn't understand joy, connection, or creative wandering. And those moments matter. Day 7, the data review. At the end of the week, the AI generated performance insights. It showed completion rates, deep work hours, distraction reduction, sleep consistency, and energy patterns. The results were clear. My output increased by roughly 30%. My distractions dropped significantly. My sleep improved. My workouts were consistent, but the most valuable outcome wasn't higher productivity. It was clarity. I could see exactly how I was spending my time. No guesswork, no illusions. And data doesn't lie. What changed internally? Beyond numbers, something shifted mentally. First, I felt lighter. When every task has a designated time slot, you stop carrying mental reminders all day. You trust the system. Second, I felt calmer. Instead of worrying about unfinished work, I knew it had a scheduled place. Third, I became more aware of how often I usually self-sabotage with distractions. However, I also noticed creativity sometimes thrives in unstructured time. When every minute is optimized, there's less room for random thinking, and random thinking often sparks big ideas. That was the trade-off. Lessons learned. AI eliminates decision fatigue. When you remove constant micro-decisions, your mental energy increases dramatically. Structure beats motivation. Waiting to feel ready is unreliable. Systems create consistency. Flexibility is essential. AI works best as a guide, not a dictator. Data reveals blind spots. Seeing patterns objectively forces growth. And perhaps most importantly, productivity isn't everything. A well-optimized day is powerful. But a meaningful day requires intention. Would I do it again? Yes, but not the same way. Instead of full control, I would use AI as a co-pilot. Let it design weekdays for maximum efficiency. Allow weekends more freedom. Use data for improvement. Keep final decisions human. That balance feels sustainable. The bigger picture. We are entering a world where AI assistants will manage schedules, health, learning, and even finances. The people who learn to collaborate with AI early will gain a massive advantage. But collaboration is the key word. Technology should amplify your strengths, not erase your personality. Optimization is powerful, but intention matters more. So what happened when I let AI manage my life for 7 days? I became more productive, more consistent, more disciplined, more aware. But I also realized something deeper. AI can design your schedule. It can optimize your energy. It can eliminate wasted time. But it cannot decide what truly matters to you. That part remains human. And maybe that's the real lesson. The future isn't about AI controlling our lives. It's about using AI to clear the noise, so we can focus on what actually makes life work.